Shalom, 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 Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Hakadash, the honors to the elders and pastors, JMS, Ruwas, HHT, Akim out there, pushing his word and truth and sincerity, risking freedom and light to do so, more so now than ever before, because we're close to the end. You know, I mean, as you see, man, Trump is the face of America right now, but it's not just Trump. You know, Trump is just the face. It's Esau. Esau is the face of America. And Esau is that bully around the world. And it's starting to cause, well, if it hasn't already, it's starting to cause the nations to reflect on why they let Esau be in charge. If Esau is himself a menace and a deviant and a thief and a murderer, all right? Because what he did just showed the world who he is. So this is from CNBC.com. Trump says Venezuela will purchase American products with revenue from oil deal. Like a damn bully, like a mafia bully, a slimy mafia, a degenerate, all right? A grimy, extortion. All right? That's exactly what it is. Let's get the definition of extortion. Extortion. Forgive me. Extortion. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. And this is exactly what Esau did, man. He extorted Venezuela for his oil reserves. And now said you're going to sell it on the market using American dollar. So it says President Donald Trump said in a Truth Social post on Wednesday that Venezuela will buy only American products with the revenue from its oil sales. The president named agriculture products, medicine, medical devices, and equipment to improve Venezuela's grid and energy facilities as potential purchases. Trump's announcement comes a day after he said Venezuela would turn over 30 million to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil to be sold at market prices. So the man comes in Venezuela, kidnaps Maduro, the president, and now is selling 30 to 50 million barrels of already sanctioned oil at market rate prices. I mean, this damn devil is the damn devil. This is let's go here. Jeremiah 50th chapter, and give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. This is louder. Shalaki, you know, I'm at work, so I kind of got to be on alert about who's walking around and stuff like that. But anyways, Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, Jeremiah 50, and let's go. '22. Sound of battle is in a land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nation? Now, you know, it's a saying. When every problem looks like a nail, it's the other way around. Every problem, when you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Because what does a hammer do to a nail? Smash it. Bang, bang, bang. And we know that Esau's blessing is the sword. So every problem that Esau was to face looks like a nail that needs to be hammered down and destroyed. So the scriptures referring to Esau as the hammer of the whole earth. And it's further expounded, says, and Babylon becomes a desolation amongst the nations, because Esau, Edom, especially here in America, American Edomites, has been the reserve currency for a while, meaning all nations had to do business with America to stabilize their economies and use the dollar-denominated notes to ensure some type of stability within a free international trade from them. But they're realizing that, America can no longer be the reserve, because if we don't agree with a policy of the Americans or NATO, America would just sanction us, thereby crippling our economy. Or we won't be able to trade on the free market anymore. So now they're finding ways to circumvent the dominance of America. And it's rumored that, again, I talked about it last video, that Venezuela, Maduro wanted to meet with Saudi Arabia, the prince of the Saudi, the sheikh, to strike an oil deal. And guess what happened? Can't have that. Why? Because, again, America's dollar is backed by oil. Saudi Arabia said they're no longer using the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency to purchase oil. And then they signed a deal with China. So we're seeing all these things come together to where the dominance of America is slowly, right now, is rapidly declining. Okay, it's on a descent, majorly. All right, and it says, verse 24. And it says, how is Babylon become the desolation amongst the nations, right? Because Esau is going to fall. It's going to be, scriptures also say that, they're going to narrowly look upon Esau. Like, this is the man that made the earth to tremble, because Esau is going to fall for such a high estate to where people are going to see him as the base man, the actual base man he truly is. And they're going to look at true people that needs to be exalted, which is the children of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which will be exalted after World War III, this next war to come. In verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, thou was not aware. See, this snare is you going in Venezuela, taking Maduro, and stealing the Venezuelan resources. That's a snare. And your next snare is supporting Israel, their treachery in fighting Iran. This is what we're looking for. That is major prophecy. That, when we know, is a full-fledged war. No holds barred, Israel versus Iran. Why? Because we know little Israel cannot defend itself against military might of Iran. All right? They cannot defend themselves. So thereby, America has to join. American troops have to be sent to fight alongside Israel to protect Israel from Iran. And Iran, not only Iran, but other Muslim countries that's nearby Iran, because they all want a piece of, Jerusalem. That's going to cause, if America join forces, Russia, China is going to get involved. If they join the fight, BRICS are going to unite, and BRICS' allies are going to unite. They're going to enact Article 5, which will bring in NATO and the EU to help support America in this fight. There goes World War III. So Esau and his pride is going to get trapped in these snares that ultimately ends up with the destruction of this world and the deliverance of the children of Israel. That are found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord, and they strive against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They striven against the Lord, man. They took the children of Israel into bondage. They said Esau, Edom was a so-called, YT man. You striven against the Lord. It said Revelation 11-14. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right. It was the second woe, Second World War. But behold, right after, not too long after that, the third woe cometh quickly. What? World War III. This is what we're heading into right now. We're on the cuffs, brink, as we speak of World War III. So let's jump back. It's a little more. I think we're almost done. It says President Trump said Wednesday that Venezuela will purchase American products with revenue from its oil sales. I have just been informed that Venezuela is going to be purchasing only American-made products with the money they receive from our new oil deal, which is straight extortion, man. Let me get one more scripture. Jeremiah 49-16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. O thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock. How do we call them clefts of the rock? Because they lived in caves. That's i.e. they call Caucasians. They lived in caves at one point. In their pride, it said, and the terribleness because the Lord has blessed them militarily, taking down nations. More importantly, he took down the children of Israel. It says, that holdeth the height of the hill, though thou should have make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. So the Most High is going to bring Esau down, man. Bring Esau down. And this is just furthering the trap and the snare that was laid for Esau Edom. He's trying to hold on to a dwindling empire, but it's going to fall. So with that, I want to give up praise to Yahweh Bashim El Shabbat Shum Kakadash Shalom.